Welcome back to the Shigeaki Podcast, where small daily habits become powerful medicine for aging well. I'm Dr. Mark Hyman, and today we're opening a conversation that surprises a lot of people, especially those who've spent years doing what they thought was healthy. Let me tell you about Margaret. She's 66, a retired nurse, thoughtful, careful, and determined to stay away from sugar. She hasn't touched a candy bar in years. No soda, no cakes, not even artificial sweeteners. Instead, she did what she believed was right. Every morning, she started her day with a big bowl of fresh fruit, bananas, grapes, watermelon, and sometimes a few pieces of pineapple. And when she came to my clinic, she was upset. "Dr. Hyman," she said, "I don't understand. I eat clean. I walk every day. I've given up sugar. So, why is my blood sugar still going up?" Her labs told a different story. Her fasting blood sugar was high. Her A1C, which shows average blood sugar over 3 months, was just above the pre-diabetes range. She was doing everything she thought was right, but it wasn't working, and that's when I had to gently tell her something many people don't realize. Not all fruits are good for blood sugar. In fact, some fruits, if eaten the wrong way, can spike your sugar almost as fast as soda. Margaret had replaced processed sugar with natural sugar, but too much of the wrong kind without the fiber, protein, or timing that would help her body handle it. And here's where I want to pause, because this story of someone trying to eat healthy but unknowingly making things worse is something I've seen again and again, which is why I'm so honored to have my co-host with me today. A man who helped thousands of older adults in Japan live stronger, longer lives by understanding not just what to eat, but how to eat it. Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara, a Japanese neurologist teacher and healer who lived past 100. Dr. Hinohara, what's your take on this? Do you see this confusion about fruit in Japan too?
Yes, Mark, very much so. In Japan, we've always respected fruit, but we never assumed it was harmless. Many older people, just like Margaret, think if it's from nature, it must be good. But the body doesn't just care where sugar comes from. It cares how much and how fast it arrives. When you're young, your body can handle more sugar, even from fruit. But after 60, the body becomes slower at balancing sugar levels. Your pancreas doesn't respond as quickly. Your cells don't absorb sugar as well. So even a healthy bowl of fruit can become a problem if it sends your blood sugar too high too fast. And modern fruit is not the same as it used to be. Fruits today are bigger, sweeter, and less fibrous than they were when I was a child. Nature has not changed, but what we've done with nature has.
That's such an important point. When people think fruit, they often think vitamins, antioxidants, natural sweetness. And that's all true, but context matters. Margaret's fruit bowl, for example, had very little fiber or protein. She ate it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, which meant all the natural sugar hit her bloodstream at full speed, no buffer, no breaks. And over time, that small habit repeated daily pushed her blood sugar higher and higher. She wasn't eating cake, but her body was reacting as if she was.
In my practice, I always told patients fruit is not bad, but fruit is powerful. And when something is powerful, it must be handled with care. We must know which fruits support our health and which ones, if misused, can harm it, especially after 60.
That's what we want to help you understand in this episode. We'll break down the 5 worst fruits for seniors with high blood sugar, what makes them problematic, not just sugar content, but fiber volume, and how the body reacts. And later, we'll show you the 5 fruits you can enjoy, freely the ones that nourish, stabilize, and protect. Because fruit isn't the enemy, but blind faith in natural sugar can be. Margaret didn't need to fear fruit. She just needed to choose the right ones and eat them the right way. Let's get started. Let's start with something that might surprise you. Fruit isn't always safe, especially as we age. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not here to say fruit is bad, but I do want to say something even more important. Your body doesn't handle sugar the same way at 65 as it did at 25. And yes, fruit contains natural sugar. But your blood doesn't know the difference between natural sugar from grapes and processed sugar from candy, especially if there's no fiber or protein to slow it down. After 60, most people experience something called insulin resistance, which simply means your body doesn't respond as well when sugar enters your blood. In younger people, sugar gets cleared out quickly, but for older adults, the sugar lingers longer, and that's when trouble starts. Higher blood sugar means more pressure on your blood vessels. It means more stress on your kidneys, your brain, and your heart. And over time, it increases the risk of diabetes, stroke, and memory loss, even if you never eat candy. That's why I want to help reframe how we look at fruit. It's not about giving it up. It's about learning how your body changes and how your choices need to change with it. Dr. Hinohara, in your practice, how did you explain this to your older patients in Japan?
Yes, Mark. In Japan, we treat aging like a new season. Just as we eat different food in winter than in summer, we must eat differently at 70 than we did at 30. I often told my patients, as we grow older, the fire inside burns more gently, and so we must feed it more carefully. What does that mean? It means the body slows down, not just in how it moves, but in how it handles food. Digestion is slower. The pancreas, which helps control sugar, is less efficient, and muscles which help absorb sugar start to shrink unless we use them often. So even a small fruit bowl, if eaten too fast or alone, can push blood sugar too high. And it's not just about diabetes. High blood sugar makes the brain age faster. It thickens the blood. It stiffens the arteries. It makes you tired after eating. And over time, it steals energy balance and clarity. This is why I never told patients to stop eating fruit, but I did teach them to respect it. Fruit is strong medicine, and like all medicine, the right dose matters.
That's beautifully said, doctor. So, what does that mean for you, listening right now? It means that after 60, you need to pay attention, not just to what fruit you eat, but how much, when, what you eat it with. Because if you eat a very sweet fruit, like grapes or pineapple, first thing in the morning, with nothing else in your stomach, your blood sugar can spike dramatically. But if you eat a lower sugar fruit like berries or kiwi as part of a balanced meal, your body handles it very differently. This is where knowledge becomes power. Fruit can absolutely be part of a healthy life after 60, but only if you know which fruits work with your body and which ones work against it. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about next. In the next part, we'll explore 5 fruits that are surprisingly harmful to seniors with high blood sugar. Not because they're bad, but because they're too much too fast and too sneaky. And chances are you've eaten all 5 this week. Now, let's get into it. These are the 5 fruits I see causing the most trouble for seniors trying to manage blood sugar. They may look innocent. They may even be your favorites, but they can raise blood sugar fast, and for someone over 60, that matters. Let's take them one by one. Number 1, grapes. Grapes are sweet, juicy, and easy to grab by the handful. But that's part of the problem. You don't need to eat much for them to overwhelm your system. Just 1 cup of grapes has about 23 grams of sugar. That's more than a small can of soda. And because grapes are mostly water and sugar with very little fiber, your body absorbs that sugar very quickly.
Worse, they don't make you feel full. You can eat 20 or 30 grapes without thinking and never feel like you've overeaten. I've had many patients tell me, but it's just fruit, doctor. Yes, but sugar is sugar, especially when it hits the bloodstream all at once.
Number 2, overripe bananas. The misleading healthy fruit. Bananas have a reputation for being gentle, especially for digestion. But once a banana gets too ripe, when it's soft, sweet, and covered in brown spots, its natural starches have turned almost completely into simple sugar. That means it goes into your bloodstream fast. A ripe banana has a high glycemic index, which means it raises your blood sugar quickly after eating.
I've seen many older adults start their morning with a banana on an empty stomach. They think they're being healthy, but their blood sugar tells a different story an hour later, especially if you're not eating anything with it. No protein, no fat, no fiber. Your body has no way to slow it down.
Number 3, watermelon. All sugar, no support. Watermelon feels light. It's refreshing. But for blood sugar, it's one of the worst fruits, and most people have no idea. Why? Because it has one of the highest sugar absorption rates of any fruit. That's called the glycemic index, and watermelon is near the top.
It also has almost no fiber or nutrients to help slow that sugar down. So what feels like just water is actually water plus a sugar surge. And again, it's easy to overeat. Especially in summer, big wedges, big bites, lots of juice, but your body pays the price.
Number 4, pineapple, naturally strong, but too fast. Pineapple has a tropical sweetness that people love. And yes, it has some good things in it, like vitamin C and an enzyme called bromelain. But it also has a lot of sugar, and that sugar enters your blood quickly, especially when the fruit is ripe and juicy.
Many seniors I work with eat pineapple as a snack between meals, thinking it's better than cookies. But in terms of blood sugar, not always. Because again, no protein, no fiber, no healthy fat to buffer the effect. Just sweetness straight into your system.
Number 5, dried fruits, tiny size, huge sugar. This is the most deceptive of them all. Raisins, dates, dried mango, dried apricots. They're often labeled as healthy snacks, but for seniors with blood sugar concerns, they're trouble in small packages. They've had the water taken out, but none of the sugar. That means the sugar is now concentrated into a much smaller space. So, instead of eating one peach, you're basically eating 3 peaches worth of sugar in a few dried slices. And because they're small, sweet, and chewy, people eat more than they realize. Even a small handful of raisins can spike blood sugar just like candy.
In Japan, we rarely eat dried fruit. Not because we don't like it, but because we understand that once the water is gone, the sweetness becomes dangerous. When fruit loses its softness, it gains sharpness, especially inside the body. And more importantly, we eat fruit with balance. Never alone. Never in large amounts. Never without asking, how will this make me feel in 1 hour? That's a question many people forget to ask.
So there you have it, grapes, overripe bananas, watermelon, pineapple, and dried fruits. They're not bad. But for seniors with high blood sugar, they're not harmless. And when eaten at the wrong time, in the wrong way, they can slowly push your health in the wrong direction without you even knowing. In the next part, we'll shift focus and give you 5 fruits that support your blood sugar, your energy, and your future. Because you don't have to give up fruit. You just have to know which ones truly love you back.
Now that we've talked about the fruits that can quietly spike your blood sugar, let's talk about the good news. Because yes, there are fruits that work with your body, not against it. Fruits that digest slowly. Fruits that come packed with fiber, vitamins, and plant compounds that actually help stabilize sugar levels, not cause chaos. Here are 5 of my favorites. I recommend them often to patients over 60 who want to eat fruit and still keep their blood sugar steady.
Number 1, apples, especially with the skin. Let's start simple, the humble apple. Apples, especially green apples. Or Fuji, have a low glycemic index, meaning they raise your blood sugar slowly. They're rich in fiber, especially in the peel, and that fiber slows down how fast the natural sugar enters your blood. Even better, apples contain quercetin, a compound that helps reduce inflammation and support healthy blood vessels.
You can slice up half an apple, keep the peel on, and pair it with a small spoon of almond butter or a few walnuts. That combination gives you fiber, healthy fat, and crunch, a perfect snack that keeps your sugar steady for hours.
Number 2, kiwi, small, powerful, and easy to digest. Kiwi is one of the most underrated fruits for blood sugar health. It's tart, juicy, and packed with vitamin C, potassium, and fiber. But what makes kiwi truly special is an enzyme called actinidin, which helps your body break down protein and improve digestion. And here's the best part. Kiwi has a low glycemic index, and it's also high in water and fiber, meaning the sugar it contains gets absorbed slowly and gently.
You can slice it, scoop it with a spoon, or even eat the fuzzy skin. If you're feeling adventurous, it has extra fiber. 1 or 2 kiwis with lunch or as an afternoon snack can be a refreshing, blood sugar-friendly choice.
Number 3, citrus fruits, oranges, grapefruit, and tangerines. Citrus fruits are often misunderstood. People think they're too sweet, but in reality, fruits like oranges and grapefruit have a moderate glycemic index, especially when you eat the whole fruit, not the juice. They're rich in vitamin C, fiber, and powerful compounds like hesperidin and naringenin that may improve insulin sensitivity, helping your body process sugar better. One study even showed that eating fresh citrus daily was linked to lower A1C levels in older adults with early-stage diabetes.
How to eat them: peel and eat whole, avoid juicing. Pair with a boiled egg or a slice of cheese to make it more balanced. A small orange or half a grapefruit at breakfast is a gentle way to support your body.
Number 4. Berries, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries. Berries are superstars for seniors managing blood sugar. They're low in sugar, high in fiber, and absolutely packed with antioxidants, especially anthocyanins, which help improve how your body uses insulin. Berries also fight inflammation, protect your blood vessels, and even support memory. That's a powerful fruit.
Enjoy them by a small handful. About a half cup of blueberries or strawberries with plain Greek yogurt makes for a perfect breakfast or dessert. You can also blend them into a smoothie with chia seeds and unsweetened almond milk. Just make sure they're unsweetened and fresh or frozen, no syrup or added sugar.
Number 5. Pears, soft, sweet, and slow digesting. Last but not least, pears. Pears are gentle on the body and rich in soluble fiber, especially in the skin. That fiber helps slow digestion and keeps sugar from rising too quickly. They're also high in water content, which helps you feel full without overloading your system. And unlike fruits that hit fast, pears take their time, which is exactly what your body needs.
Slice half a pear with a sprinkle of cinnamon. You can also dice it into a salad with leafy greens, olive oil, and some crushed nuts. It's sweet, hydrating, and stabilizing all in one. Mark, I love this list. In Japan, these are the kinds of fruits we've always kept close, not because they're trendy, but because they're balanced. A fruit should not make you crash. It should carry you gently. And one more thing I always told my patients: eat your fruit with company, not alone. What I mean is, fruit should be part of a larger, balanced meal, not something you eat alone in a hurry or on an empty stomach. That's when even a good fruit can turn against you.
Exactly. So many of the problems we see, blood sugar spikes, energy crashes, insulin resistance, they aren't because fruit is evil. They're because we eat fruit the wrong way, too fast, too much, and too disconnected from the rest of the meal. But when you choose fruits like these, apples, kiwis, citrus berries, and pears, and you pair them wisely, you're giving your body something wonderful, something that feeds your cells, supports your heart, and keeps your brain sharp. So now you know which fruits are best for your blood sugar. But I want to let you in on a little secret. It's not just what fruit you eat, it's how you eat it. 2 people can eat the same apple. But if one eats it alone on an empty stomach and the other eats it after a meal with healthy fat and protein, the impact on their blood sugar can be completely different. The truth is, fruit works best in a team. And the older we get, the more important that teamwork becomes.
In Japan, we have an old saying: eat slowly, eat simply, and eat together. And that includes fruit. We don't eat fruit to replace a meal. We don't eat it while walking or in front of the TV. And we never eat it alone, not just socially, but nutritionally. A fruit should come after something warm, or with something soft and savory, something that steadies the sugar it carries.
Here's what I teach my patients about smart fruit habits after 60. Frosta 1. Don't eat fruit on an empty stomach. When you wake up, your body is sensitive to sugar. If the first thing you eat is a banana or a bowl of watermelon, your blood sugar will rise quickly. Instead, start with protein like a boiled egg, Greek yogurt, or a handful of nuts. Then enjoy your fruit. This slows the sugar, flattens the spike, and keeps your energy steady.
2. Combine fruit with fat or protein. Fruit digests fast, but fat and protein digest slow, so when you pair them, you balance the meal. Examples: apple slices, plus almond butter berries, plus cottage cheese, kiwi, plus chia seeds, pear, plus walnuts. These combinations not only taste great, they turn fruit into fuel, not a sugar rush.
3. Time it right. Mornings and early afternoons are best after 4 p.m. Your body becomes more insulin resistant. That means the same fruit can cause a higher blood sugar spike in the evening than it would at lunch. So, for most seniors, fruit is best enjoyed at breakfast with protein, as a midday snack with fiber or healthy fat, After lunch in small portions, avoid large fruit servings at dinner or late at night, especially if your blood sugar is already unstable.
4. Be mindful of portion size. Fruit is healthy, but it's still sweet. Even the good ones can push your sugar too high if you eat too much. A healthy portion is usually a half large apple, 1 kiwi, a half cup berries, a half grapefruit, 1 small pear. Use your hand as a guide. If it doesn't fit in your palm, it's probably too much for one sitting.
5. Avoid juicing. Eat the whole fruit juice, even 100% natural. Strips away the fiber. That means sugar goes straight into your blood with nothing to slow it down. A glass of orange juice can have as much sugar as a soda, even though it's natural. Instead, eat the orange, chew it slowly, let the fiber do its job.
Yes, and I'll add this. Pay attention not just to how fruit tastes, but how it makes you feel an hour later. Are you more tired or more energized? Is your thinking clearer or foggier? Did it hold you over or make you crave more sweets? Your blood sugar isn't just a number, it's a feeling. And fruit, when combined smartly, can support your energy, focus, and joy.
Let's take a breath here, because this episode has been filled with a lot of important information, some of it surprising, maybe even a little unsettling for those of you who've always believed that fruit equals health. And I understand that. We grow up with pictures of apples in lunchboxes and fruit bowls as the centerpiece of a healthy kitchen. And for the most part, fruit is healthy. But after 60, things change. Your metabolism slows. Your insulin doesn't respond like it used to. Your blood sugar becomes less forgiving. And that's not your fault. It's just the biology of aging. But here's the part I want you to hear most clearly. You don't have to give up fruit. You just have to grow wiser with it. You now know the 5 fruits that often spike blood sugar: grapes, ripe bananas, watermelon, pineapple, and dried fruits. And you also know the 5 fruits that tend to support balance: apples, kiwi, citrus berries, and pears. But even more important than that, you know how to eat them wisely, not alone, not in a rush, not as the main course, but as part of a calm, thoughtful, balanced meal. Because food, especially fruit, is more than nutrients. It's rhythm, it's timing, it's respect for how your body wants to be treated after 60. And that wisdom is something you've earned. Now, let me turn to my dear friend who has lived this truth for over a century. Dr. Hinohara, would you share your final thoughts?
In my many years of caring for older adults, I often saw 2 kinds of eaters. One ate with habit, repeating what they learned as children without question. The other ate with humility, listening to their body adjusting, with time learning as they aged. The second group lived longer and lived better. Fruit is sweet, but wisdom is sweeter. We must not eat with fear, but we also must not eat with blindness. What we shared today is not a warning, it's an invitation to slow down, to observe, to choose with care. Because what you eat is how you speak to your body. When you choose fruit that supports your blood, your brain, and your heart, you are telling your body, I care, I am listening, and I am still building health even now.
And if today's episode gave you a new insight, or maybe just a new habit to try, we'd love to hear from you. Subscribe to the podcast. Share this episode with a parent, friend, or loved one over 60. Leave a comment. What fruit will you try differently this week? Because small changes done daily create powerful results. We'll see you next time on the Shigeaki Podcast. And until then, stay curious, stay kind to your body, and never stop learning how to age well.